At 82 years old, Roy Clark is still charming audiences around the world. While most of our viewers recognize Clark from his years on Hee Haw, musicians around the world recognize him as one of the greatest guitar pickers of all time. I sat down with Clark during his recent visit to Nashville. He reflects on his storied career in the entertainment business. One of the masters, the best of all time, the consummate entertainer. All terms that have been used to describe legend and extraordinaire Roy Clark, who became a household name when Hee Haw entered the homes of 30 million viewers weekly from 1969 to 1992.
And Roy Clark.
Television was what I was really bred to do. And I was a guest on the Jonathan Winters show. These two gentlemen came back, Frank Papillot and John Aylesworth, from Canada, and said they were thinking about doing a television show. That was in September, and about January, my manager called and said, they're ready to do that show. I said, they're ready to do what show? He said, well, they're calling it Hee Haw. I said, they're calling what Hee Haw? He said, well, I'm sure that's just a working title. Once it gets on the air, they'll come up with something clever. You look back on it, what could be more clever than Hee Haw?
There's a cabin in...
His fans also recall Clark's appearances on The Beverly Hillbillies, The Jackie Gleason Show, and this appearance on an episode of The Odd Couple. Clark was born on April 15, 1933 in Meherrin, Virginia. He grew up in Staten Island, New York, and then spent his teenage years in Washington, D.C. It was in these years that he began playing guitar, mandolin, and banjo. By just the age of 15, he had won 2 national banjo championships. By 17, he had made his first appearance on the Grand Ole Opry.
The Grand Ole Opry is still it. They can build monuments all over the world. It's still the Grand Ole Opry.
Through the years, Clark had hit songs as a pop vocalist with Yesterday When I Was Young and Thank God in Greyhound.
Thank God in Greyhound you're gone.
Clark became a member of the Grand Ole Opry in 1987 and was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2009. His long list of awards include ACM and CMA Entertainer of the Year and a Grammy Award in 1982 for Best Country Instrumental Performance for his recording of Alabama Jubilee. Musician, singer, comedian, actor, pilot, drag racer, baseball player, boxer, husband, father, grandfather, Roy Clark has done it all. But the most impressive thing when you sit down and talk with Roy Clark about his storied career is his sense of honest humility and genuine appreciation for a career well earned.
I've had little people through the years come up and say, why are you here tonight? Why you come out to this little bitty town? I said, son, tonight this little bitty town is the most important part of this universe.
Well, during his time on Hee Haw, Clark was a frequent guest host for Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show, and he also headlined at the first theater in Branson, Missouri to be owned and named after a nationally known celebrity.